suspect in the back corner.
Amy Cooper. Somebody yell at her.
Amy. Amy.
Amy. Where's the microphone? I got it. Oh, Carmen's got it. Okay, never mind.
Is that the one Hunter's looking for?
Yep.
I'll tell him we got one.
You don't need any of this, do you?
Where's Mike go? There he is.
He's over there. But I don't know if it's working. I don't know how to work it.
Does this need to be plugged in? Because it is not. It's dead.
Oh,
I've got
might
the cord.
be.
The cord is
Might be.
I bet that's it. Pull it back. Hit him in the butt.
Are you good?
Well, I think it needs a battery. I'm not sure.
Uh-oh.
Here, hold on. No.
Stephanie, are you good? Steph,
Hold on a second.
you good?
I'll try.
Okay.
No, that shouldn't have anything to do with that. Because I'm assuming that it has to be charged.
I would say so, yeah. I never messed with it. Yeah, that green with you looks like it needs to be charged.
Here,
You have to talk
put it
loud.
on camera. A lot. Is there another battery or something?
No, for him to be able to.
No batteries. No.
I mean, we can put that down, but maybe. Yeah, I know it, but.
You think it'd be better down?
Well, it might
Okay.
focus on that same.
Yeah. Yeah.
He have nothing. What type of battery does it need?
I don't know. It's a.
If it's not, I'll talk about it because these are names.
Well, like I said, if it's a.
No? No, it's not something we have to use.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they're double A. Bring me double A.
How many?
1, 2.
Two.
2 double A.
We don't really do that.
I think we're okay.
As long as these are working, that's all they
Yeah,
care
they've got theirs. That's right.
Those are
And
live.
Mayor, I'm filming over there, so I'll have it.
Have them bring double A anyway.
I did. I asked for some. No, she can't.
Anybody need this?
Okay. I think this is Carmen's. No.
It doesn't matter. Let's get it.
Okay.
It's 4 o'clock.
Good? You good? You good?
Y'all good? If I can have your attention, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Cheryl Brazier. I'm the Director of Communications for the City of North Little Rock. Thank you for coming. This is an unfortunate event that's happened in my lifetime. I've never seen a tornado hit North Little Rock, but the work that all of our city leaders, our department heads, and our employees have done has just really been phenomenal. And without further ado, I want to introduce to you our mayor, who we love, Mayor Terry Hartwick.
Thank you, appreciate it. Thank y'all very much. I've got Steve, Alderman, Councilmember Steve Baxter, Councilperson Debbie Ross here, and I've got the Mayor of Sherwood. Mayor, if you don't mind, please come up, if you got a second. What we thought, though, is real fast is get the cities together, because when this tornado went through, it didn't stop at the boundaries, okay? So with that, I've invited our mayor from Sherwood, if you don't mind, please.
Yes, I'm Mayor Mary Jo High Townsell. We have council members, Marina Brooke, April Broderick, Beverly Williams, and Mike Sanders here, as well as our city attorney and our economic development. Oh, I'm sorry, and Councilmember Kyle Wade. Sorry.
Thank you. What this is about, real fast, we're not going to spend much time talking, but the city of North Rock is going to go open, but Mike Davis, as my chief of staff, has taken this and what we call our command center. He's in what we call our day 3, but if you think about it, it's been more or less 48 hours. The city of North Rock will be open tomorrow. We've got people here that you could probably ask a few questions. I want to introduce Greg Paluski, of course, our superintendent of schools. Greg, if you don't mind, just go ahead and tell the plans you got for a second, please.
Thank you, Mayor. For the record, my name is Greg Paluski, the superintendent of the North Little Rock School District. And first, I just want to thank the mayor, all of his staff, for working with us with our school system. And our hearts certainly go out to all of our families that have been impacted and all of our employees. School operations for tomorrow looks like this. All of our schools tomorrow will be closed for students, but they will be open for all of our faculty and staff. So all of our teachers, all of our employees will report to work. It's going to be a work day. We're trying to get everybody back to normal as fast as possible. We need to be able to assess more of our employees. As you can imagine, we have employees that are all over Central Arkansas and have been impacted just because they don't live here, but they work for us. We want to be sensitive to their needs in order to do that. Also, our transportation buses will run tomorrow without students. It's very important that we test the system. We have 17 buses that service the tornado impact zone. They will not be able to get into the tornado impact zone. So we're working tomorrow. Probably what that looks like will be bus hubs. That might look like asking our families, can you get to the nearest church? In the church parking lot, that's where we'll pick up your child. So we think tomorrow's just going to be a big transition day. We're going to learn a lot. Let me tell you about the two most impacted schools. The first is going to be Amboy Elementary School. It currently does not have power. We're not sure when that power is going to be restored. The second one is Indian Hills Elementary School. Just a few hours ago, they got power, so our teachers are going to be there tomorrow. It looks good that we'll be able to have Indian Hills Elementary School for Tuesday, but right now, that is tentative.
Any questions? Not? Anybody? Sarah? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mayor.
Real fast, I cannot say enough about Mike Davis. He's what we call our command center guru. He's run the show. Tells me to sit down and shut up most of the time. But other than that, let me introduce Mike Davis. Mike, if you don't mind. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. As I've said since Friday at about 2:30 in the afternoon, this is going to be a long haul. We're just really getting started with things. Just kind of how we got here on the 31st, Friday, we started getting information about storms. Things started taking place. Schools let out a little early, and a lot of times we think, why did schools let out a little early? Well, I think we discovered now why they did let out early. We're placed under a tornado warning. Short time later, in fact, a tornado was in Little Rock. We were all watching it on the weather and becoming concerned at the path of that. At 2:29, the storm actually entered North Little Rock, and it first came to Burns Park. Burns Park sustained a lot of damage, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in a few minutes, but the storm continued on. It traveled a total of 5.6 miles through our city. It was stretched out about 400 yards wide, 4 football fields wide through the entire length. So the storm went a lot longer than 5.6 miles because it continued on to Sherwood and other places as well. But we received our first 911 call at 2:33 that afternoon. And then our emergency operations center actually opened up at 2:45 right down the hallway. So we got busy pretty quick, and we've been there ever since. As I've told each of our guys every morning, every afternoon as we're briefing and talking, we're on day 3. Okay, so we're on day 3 of many, many days ahead of us, and we know that as well. First responders immediately responded to all the locations in our city, and throughout that process, fire department began searching and rescuing, and we were so fortunate in North Little Rock in that our injuries sustained were less than 10 actually, that actually required some type of outside treatment. And there was one subject who passed away during the incident, lived in the Sonora Drive area. Storm hit that street pretty hard. He sustained a heart attack. CPR was done on him for over 30 minutes before it was determined that we were unsuccessful in that. So I want to thank our fire department, our police departments for the work they've done and continue to do. Search operations were actually completed on Friday night by 9 p.m. and we felt comfortable, but the fire department did not feel comfortable yet, so they came back for the third time on Saturday morning, once again searched the locations that were damaged and completed that task and found no one else that needed medical attention or anything like that. Gas leaks were all confined to and ended on Saturday morning. We had some rather large ones on Friday night. A lot of people may have heard that. And Saturday morning we had just a few that we had to deal with, but that stopped after that. And we were fortunate for that as well. This was a strong, I've heard it was categorized as a strong Category 3 tornado. And we're seeing the effects of that. We have a lot of theories on why we fared as well as we did. You know, some people might believe in, others might not, but I feel that we were blessed without a doubt on how this went. I want to take a second to thank the many hundreds of people from the city of North Little Rock that came and immediately got on the ground and got busy with chainsaws and other things like that. It has made a huge impact. It helped us to open our streets quicker, and we're feel good in the fact that we have passable streets. We were at 1 lane, half lane, 1.5 lane, and we're almost to 2 lanes in many of the areas now. So that's making it easier. We're trying to working with the school district and trying to make those things happen. But it's also for emergency vehicles such as our fire apparatus that needs to get inside neighborhoods. It takes a little bit more space than what we're used to having. We're going to continue to need that volunteer help. The mission will change as each week goes along. Clean up, and then we've got issues that people are going to need financial help, and all those things are happening, and we're very appreciative of that. So once again, I thank not only the citizens of our city, but other cities that have come in, other states that have come into our aid, and have been a big help as that as well. Also want to say that we're trying to get as much information out as we can to the public. We have not done the greatest job ever, but we are getting there and improving with each second. Part of the reason we have struggled is there are over 5,800 feet of fiber that has been damaged in our city. That is a big problem that we have, and that prevents some phone usage at City Hall and a few other city buildings. We're working through that right now, and we should have operational phones, maybe a cell phone, whatever it may be, but we will have those avenues in place as we continue forward. Animal shelters is a good example out at Burns Park. They're having to move their phone services and other things to our new Blue Cross building that will be our new city services building in the next month or so. That fiber issue has not affected our emergency services lines whatsoever. 911 has never stopped working, continues to work. Police and fire stations still have the same numbers that all work, so that has not been an issue. It's just been a few other issues that we've had to deal with that. This time I really want to take the opportunity to speak about our electric department. Ryan Wilson is here, and I'm going to have him come up and say a few words. But the progress that has been made has been phenomenal, and I thank them for that. And they've been working hard, and he'll kind of tell a little bit about the crews that came in and that have assisted and are still here assisting now. Ryan?
Thanks, Chief. I'm Ryan Wilson, General Manager for North Little Rock Electric. I want to start by giving a huge thank you to our employees, to all of our linemen, our administrative staff, and I want to say a special thank you to the municipal cities that have come to help us: Jonesboro, Paragould, Clarksville, Benton, Bentonville, and Conway Corp, as well as our contract crews that have been so ready to work, putting in 16-hour work days, trying to restore the infrastructure that has been damaged through the tornado. Kind of getting to some details, we started immediately at over 15,000 customers out. As of this moment, we should be a little under 5,600 customers out at this moment. And the best news here recently is one of our biggest obstacles of the moment, of the day, is Entergy, our transmission planner, has removed a tree that was holding up some transmission into our substation out of Sherwood. And so we should see pretty significant numbers being restored through the rest of the night. I'm not going to put a timeline on it because that we'll be chasing smaller outages through the time, but you should start seeing more significant reductions in that area. Just know that we're working as quickly and as safely as we can, and there will be areas that are still going to have extended outages for days to come, just due to the harder hit areas. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. And we said from the beginning, within the house here, and we've been pushing out to the public as much as we can. I mean, we're looking at 5-7 days before electricity is out everywhere. And so I think we're heading that direction, and we're at day 3, so we do realize that is fast approaching. But I want to thank you guys and your crews for being out there, because that is a dangerous position to be in, and they're out at night, and the wind has been blowing, and there are a lot of factors involved with that those guys and gals that are out there working. I wanted to kind of update a little bit on our cleanup efforts at this time. Several years ago, the city of North Little Rock entered into a contract with Crowder Gulf. It's a disaster recovery and debris management group out of Mobile, Alabama. It probably didn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people at the time, and maybe me included. However, now here we are at this point, and we see that that was a good move on our part, because they are here. They hit the ground yesterday afternoon, surveying damage and looking and getting things in place to be ready to go. They are here. I think that will quickly, in the next, we probably should see them moving out on the streets themselves by Wednesday. So we're getting close on that. They're setting up the places for that to make that happen. Tetra Tech, which is a company that monitors what this group, Crowder, is going to do to make sure that we're following all regulations through FEMA, and we're not mixing items together that we shouldn't do for the safety of everyone else. They are here as well. Tommy Webster is here. Tommy's over there. Thank you, Tommy. Tommy hit the ground running as well, and was able to look through our city and see exactly what we need and where the drop-off points will be. We've established right now, so that people will know, we have 4 locations around the city that you can turn food and household waste. There are sanitation trucks at these locations. Fire station number 9 at Osage off of JFK is up and running. People can drop trash off from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. there. The Edwards Food Giant on Camp Robinson Road between Camp and Pike Avenue, they are set there as well. The Rising Star Baptist Church was where it was. We just moved it up to the top of the hill at Perrin and Remount Roads. That will be set up 7 to 7 as well. And then Military MacArthur Drive will be where the 4 trucks are placed at. As of 1 o'clock this afternoon, we were able to also open up a location at 402 West Military, which is a hospitality house that's right by Burns Park. At that location, you can bring construction debris and vegetative debris as well. And they will be separated. The caveat to that location and this contract that we have and our responsibility to the citizens of North Little Rock, citizens of North Little Rock only will be able to bring items to those locations. And they can bring them and drop them off starting this afternoon at 1, but that will end this afternoon. But like I say, it's any tree limbs, that type of thing that they have, they can take those there. And then Crowder will come and take them to our locations where we're taking care of that as far as mulch and whatever they're doing with that product and hauling it off, which will be on the soccer field area of Burns Park. This will continue for several weeks, we know that, and but a lot of that will be based on how we're able to get things done and accomplish that. I want to take a minute to talk about Burns Park. Like I said, that one location's at the Hospitality House, which is right at the boundary of Burns Park, right where our brand new fire station that was going to open in about 3 weeks is definitely not going to open now. We may have some structural issues that we're dealing with. We've lost part of a roof, some other things. So hopefully, prayerfully, we do not have to start from the ground up again on that firehouse. But we were excited about that possibly opening quickly. Burns Park is closed. It's sustained a large amount of damage. It's closed. The bike trail that leads into Burns Park is closed. It's fenced off. We don't need anybody to be out there for their safety and for the safety of Crowder and all the other things that are going to be happening. A lot of activity will be occurring out there. We think that parts of Burns Park will open over the next few weeks, and just be patient with that as we clear areas off. It's affecting our athletic baseball, North Little Rock School District. They're having to move somewhere else to play. Softball as well. So it affects a lot of people. We understand that. We had an open house Friday at the Funland to introduce 2 new rides that we have. And they were brand new, just unboxed and put up. And guess what? They are no longer at Burns Park. They're somewhere between now, here, and maybe Sherwood. I don't know exactly where they may be, but, I think that, lastly, in my part, I just want to say, thanks to our first responders. And first responders are, police and fire, I get, but also our first responders has been all of our city employees who have been out there from start to finish on this deal. And when I say finish, I'm just saying day 3 once again. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. We will keep our Emergency Operations Center open, and we'll continue to work there. At the same time, the mayor and the rest of the staff will be working to make sure the rest of the city is where it needs to be, and we're continuing to do the things that we do. We continue on Monday to pick up sanitation where it's at and things like that. So with that, I think that, go ahead.
You want to say something, and I'm going to wrap it up.
Okay.
Please, Mayor, if you don't mind.
Just to let everybody know, Sherwood City offices will also be open tomorrow. If we don't have power to the permits and planning and engineering department, then we will be staging that at City Hall. At our senior center is where we are having our shelter. We're also taking donations there and distributing them for water, non-perishable foods, toiletries, those type of things. We are also going to be contracting, we'll be doing that this evening with, yes,
Nick?
with Crowder Golf and with Tetra Tech. And we will be actually right after this picking out some sites. If you're a Sherwood resident, then if you will just go to our website or on our City of Sherwood Facebook page, you'll be able to find out where you can take your household items and also your green, your trees and so forth, because those do have to be separated, and we'll continue to have information out about that. Thank you. And a big thank you to North Little Rock. As a new mayor, having only been in office for a few months, nothing like trial by fire, and to have such experience, mayor right next door to kind of hold our hand and help us through this has been absolutely incredible. We've been able to work together on helping them with police, and they've helped us with so much different information. So love regionalism. So thank you.
Quickly, I wanted to mention our curfew that we have in place. It's been in place for 2 nights now. It's supposed to end at 6 o'clock in the morning. There'll be a special call meeting with the city council tomorrow at noon, I believe, and we're going to extend that for 5:30. We're going to extend it for a few more days. Just to clarify, the curfew is for this. It is for maintaining a safe area and allowing the residents that live in those areas to know that the cleanup efforts are over for the night. We want people, all our volunteers and stuff, we want them to leave that area. We don't want anybody getting hurt. We don't want nails and other injuries to occur. So that's the extent of it. We hadn't had any issues with anything, but that's what it is, a chance to give everybody a good night's rest, and so we can hit the streets again in daylight and not have to worry about injuries and things like that. Mayor?
Really, thank y'all for coming. I do appreciate you. I am going to open up any questions. Of course, Tom is here, so if you have anything for him, we'll take some questions real fast because I know y'all need to wrap it up and edit, right, Sarah?
We're hearing some reports that people are getting scammed with tree removal companies or roofing companies, or that prices are being jacked up. And I know I heard from Cheryl that police are going door to door. Do they have the information to talk about that?
We're actually going to print a brochure out. Are you here, Dan? Dan's going to be responsible. We're actually putting a brochure. We're going to be hand mailing these out to try to stop that. Meanwhile, we're pushing information through our comm centers with Shara and Carmen and Amy, and all of our emails. So everything we can push out. If you have any questions, I suggest everyone call City Hall or call Dan, or all of our information. So we have several information centers going out from fire, police, and everywhere, okay? Anything else? Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Is the North Little Rock Community Center still kind of a hub for donation, shelter, anything like that?
Well, North Rock, go ahead, Mike. If you want to.
Okay, and I'm sorry about that too. The community center is open for those that have no place to go during this storm. And so what has happened, we've had a lot of in and out there. We have meals there, we have cots there. It's not been used as much as we suspected at first, which that's good. And people are finding other measures. Our community is one, and our families are able to help take those people in. And but when it rains, if it rains tonight like we think it may be going to, we may have some people that have been okay up till now, but they need to get into dry, and so that will be done. We are not taking, as far as donations, we have structured that where it's going other places. Clothes, we don't need that type of item or anything like that. These faith-based organizations have stepped up, Red Cross, and doing the things like that, so we don't have to handle that aspect of trying to make sure that gets to the right spots. But we have had a lot of items that have given to these churches. First Assembly on Borough Road has been heavily involved. Levy Baptist Church in North Little Rock, New Life Church, I believe. So there's several other churches that are doing a lot with that. Same thing on meals. I mean, Saturday, you know, it was like you couldn't eat enough food. And so the things that worry me about that, though, is that, and I want to stress that, yeah, Monday people go back to work, so we're really still need the volunteers to come in and help in the neighborhoods. And as this drags along, then we're really going to need to make sure we're feeding our people like we need to. And so if you hadn't done anything up till now, don't think that, hey, it's okay, I don't have to worry about it now. We need you more in the next few weeks.
Should volunteers go to the community center?
Another good point. Volunteers that we have will go to Edwards Food Saver on Camp Robinson Road. We will start there at 7 in the morning, and we'll have people there that will get us lined out on where we need to go. They will get there, we'll sign them up, and we'll point them to two locations, two areas, staging areas that we have, one in the Amboy area and one in the Indian Hills area. Once they get there, the officers that have been going out, the fire guys that have been going out and visiting with people, they've found specific needs that they may have. You know, some people may have got a lot of help because they had a lot of family. Others may be elderly and they hadn't really got any, so we're trying to find those locations to really help them. So we'll plug them in to get them doing things. Whether some people can't cut trees, I get that, but other people can do other cleaning things and help in other ways.
Is it at 7 a.m. every day this week or just tomorrow?
It will be there. We started on Saturday, and we'll continue on until we feel comfortable that we're not needed.
Sarah, we hadn't had much sleep. What else? Yes, sir. All the road, and I can tell you with street, I don't know if Kenny's here, but almost all of our streets, what the chief was saying a while ago, we started real fast with a lot of streets were very, very narrow. And now they've gotten one lane, and now they've gotten two. So we're about, all of our streets are cleared. I know Greg from the school district toured most of the streets this morning, and he says that we still can't get buses in, but they're passable, if you see what I'm saying. So no streets that I know of right now, or all streets are open. So, anything else from anybody? We appreciate your time and your patience. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate you, Mayor. Appreciate your people coming. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Very good, Mike. Very good. Oh.
Mayor, good job.
Well, I do much right here. He's doing a lot. As I say, I let the people know what they're doing. So should I do this?
If there's any update with Indian